Have you ever felt like there's a secret room in your partner's mind that you just can't find the key to? You're lying there side by side and everything feels fine, but you can sense a lingering silence, a world of unspoken desires tucked away behind his eyes. It's not that he's hiding something bad, he's hiding something vulnerable. Today we are stepping into that quiet space together. This is a sanctuary where judgment doesn't exist. Please take a deep breath and settle in, because what we're about to uncover isn't just about physical acts, it's about the profound psychological connection he's starving for but doesn't know how to name. You aren't just watching a video, you are gaining the insider map to his heart and his deepest, most private cravings. Let's peel back the curtain to see what he's really thinking when the lights go down. Why he is terrified. It seems strange, doesn't it, that a man who seems so confident in the world could be paralyzed by the thought of asking for something naughty. But here is the truth. For most men, their performance in the bedroom is tied directly to their sense of worth. To ask for something different, something a little more intense or unconventional, feels like a massive risk. He wonders, will she think I'm a weirdo? Will she look at me differently tomorrow morning? This terror isn't about you being judgmental. It's about his own fear of losing the respect he worked so hard to earn. He would rather stay in the safe routine than risk a moment of awkwardness that makes him feel small. By understanding this psychological barrier, you aren't just his partner, you become his safest harbor, the only person who can finally give him permission to be his true self. The release of control. Think about his daily life for a moment. From the second he wakes up, he is likely expected to be the one with the answers. He makes decisions at work, he navigates the stresses of provide and protect, and often in your relationship, he is the one expected to initiate the intimacy. This constant pressure to be the leader is exhausting. So the first thing he truly craves, but would never admit, is the total release of control. There is something incredibly naughty and intoxicating to a man about a woman who decides exactly what is going to happen next. He wants to feel for once that he is the object of your desire rather than the architect of it. When you take the lead, when you push him back and take charge of the pace, the rhythm and the energy, you are giving him a rare gift, the freedom to just be. He doesn't have to perform. He doesn't have to wonder if he's doing it right. He gets to experience the thrill of being pursued. Imagine the shift in energy when he realizes he doesn't have to carry the weight of the moment. It's not about you doing all the work. It's about the psychological surrender. It tells him that you want him so much that you can't wait for him to start. It breaks the polite patterns of a long-term relationship and replaces them with a raw, primal connection. For a man, being claimed by the woman he loves is one of the most empowering feelings in the world, yet the irony is that he feels he has to be the strong one at all times. By stepping into your own power, you actually allow him to find a deeper level of pleasure he didn't even know was possible. It's a secret he keeps because he fears looking weak, but in reality, it's exactly what his soul is crying out for. The sound of validation. In the quiet of the bedroom, silence can be the loudest thing in the room. To a man, silence often feels like a question mark. He's doing his best, focusing on your pleasure, but without a roadmap, he's essentially flying blind. This brings us to the second secret. He is desperate for the sound of your validation. This isn't about ego or vanity, it's about connection. Men are incredibly responsive to auditory cues. When you are quiet, his brain starts to overthink. He wonders if you're bored, if he's hurting you, or if you're just thinking about the grocery list for tomorrow. But when you find your voice through a soft sigh, a sharp intake of breath, or even a few naughty words of encouragement, it acts like an electrical current through his body. He wants to hear that what he's doing is working. He wants to know that he has the power to make you lose your composure. You don't need to be a voice actress or put on a show. In fact, the more authentic the sound, the more powerful it is. Even a whisper of his name can change the entire atmosphere. It tells him, I am here with you and I love what is happening. This vocal feedback gives him the confidence to try new things and to be more present in the moment. It turns a physical act into a shared conversation. He is terrified to ask for this because he doesn't want to seem like he's fishing for compliments or demanding a performance. But internally, your voice is the most beautiful music he could ever hear. It confirms that he is successfully providing the pleasure you deserve. By being a little more vocal about your enjoyment, you bridge the gap between your physical sensations and his need to be the one who provides them, creating a loop of intimacy that is impossible to break. The unfiltered gaze. We've all done it. The quick reach for the lamp switch, the careful adjustment of the sheets to hide a soft curve or a stretch mark. We haven't quite made peace with yet. We think we're being helpful, creating a mood that hides our imperfections. But here is the secret he is terrified to tell you. He wants the lights on. He wants to see every inch of you, not because he is judging you against some magazine standard, but because he is captivated by the reality of you. To a man, the visual connection is a bridge to intimacy. When you hide your body, you are inadvertently closing a door he is dying to walk through. He isn't looking at the things you dislike. He is looking at the way your skin catches the light, the expression on your face when he touches you, and the raw vulnerability of your presence. He craves the naughty thrill of an unfiltered gaze because it signals that you trust him enough to be seen completely. This visual honesty is incredibly arousing to the male brain. It tells him that he is special enough to witness your most private self. He's afraid to ask for the lights to stay on because he knows you're self-conscious and he doesn't want to make you uncomfortable. But deep down, he finds your natural form more intoxicating than any staged image. By allowing him to see you really see you, you're feeding a visual hunger that goes far beyond the surface. You are showing him that you are comfortable in your skin, and that confidence is the most naughty thing you could ever wear. So next time your hand wanders toward that switch, pause for a moment, let the light stay. Let him admire the woman he chose. It's a small change that makes him feel like he finally has all of you. The art of lingering. There is a common myth that men are like microwave ovens, ready to go in 30 seconds and always looking for the shortest path to the finish line. While there's a time for speed, the fourth secret is that many men deeply crave the art of lingering. They want the naughty, slow burn of anticipation that lasts long before the bedroom door even closes. He wants to feel the tension building throughout the day, a suggestive text, a hand that stays just a second too long on his lower back, or a look that promises everything without saying a word. This sensory anticipation is a mental game that he is often too shy to initiate because he doesn't want to seem needy or too much. He wants the build-up to be its own event. Imagine the psychological impact of focusing entirely on the skin, the scent, and the heat between you, rather than just the end goal. This lingering allows him to step out of his head and into his body. It's about the journey, the exploration of parts of you that often get overlooked in the rush. When you slow things down, you are telling him that he is worth the time. You are creating a space where the smallest touch carries the weight of a mountain. He craves those moments where the world outside disappears and the only thing that matters is the friction of your palm against his chest. He wants the naughty thrill of waiting, of being teased, and of knowing that the climax is only a small part of the story. By introducing this deliberate pace, you tap into a primal masculine desire for conquest and discovery. It turns intimacy into an experience rather than a task. He is terrified to ask for a slower pace because he thinks you might get bored, but in reality he's just waiting for you to slow the world down with him. The good girl contrast, power play. Let's talk about a secret that often stays buried because it feels a little too taboo for a casual conversation. Deep down, many men have a hidden fascination with power dynamics. They crave the naughty contrast of roles, the idea of the good girl who has a secret wild side just for him. He is often terrified to bring this up because he respects you immensely. He doesn't want you to think he views you as an object or that he's lost his mind. But psychologically, roleplay or light power play is a way for him to experience a different version of you and himself. It's not about being someone else, it's about giving yourselves permission to step out of the roles of wife, mother, or professional. When you lean into a specific dynamic, perhaps playing the part of the boss or the innocent one being led astray, you unlock a playful energy that is incredibly addictive. He wants to see that spark in your eye that says, we are playing a game that only we know the rules to. This naughty shift in dynamic provides a mental escape. It allows him to feel powerful in a way that is safe and consensual, or conversely, it allows him to be the one who is submissive to your charms. The reason he's scared to ask is the fear of being misunderstood. He doesn't want to offend your dignity. But the truth is, most men find the idea of a secret persona within their partner to be the ultimate aphrodisiac. It adds a layer of mystery back into a long-term connection. You don't need a costume or a script, you just need the willingness to play. By acknowledging this hidden desire, you show him that your intimacy is a playground where anything is possible, and that is a level of freedom most men only ever dream of finding. 6. Spontaneous risk. For many women between 25 and 45, life is a series of schedules. Between work, family, and home, intimacy often becomes another to-do item on the calendar, strictly reserved for the bedroom between 10 and 11 p.m. But the 6 secret men are terrified to ask for is the thrill of the spontaneous risk. He craves the naughty energy of the unexpected, the moments where passion overrides the schedule. This isn't just about where it happens, but the adrenaline that comes with the possibility of being interrupted or simply being caught in the moment. He thinks about the kitchen counter while the dinner is cooking, the hallway before you head out for a party, or even the back seat of the car parked in a quiet spot. To him, the risk represents a level of desire that can't wait for the proper time. He is scared to suggest this because he knows how busy you are, and he doesn't want to be an inconvenience or seem disrespectful of your boundaries. However, the psychological payoff of a spontaneous connection is massive. It breaks the monotony of the routine and injects a sense of adventure back into the relationship. It makes him feel like you are both teenagers again, operating on pure attraction rather than obligation. This naughty spontaneity tells him that you still find him irresistible, regardless of the setting or the time of day. It's the ultimate validation of his masculinity. When you initiate a moment of passion in a place that isn't the bed, you are signaling that your connection is too big to be contained by four walls. You are choosing the thrill of the now over the comfort of the later, and for a man that is a memory that stays burned in his mind far longer than any scheduled encounter. Deep eye contact. When we think of naughty, we usually think of something physical, perhaps something daring or loud. But the seventh secret is something far more quiet and for many men far more intimidating. He is starving for deep, unwavering eye contact in the middle of your most intimate moments. This is what we call soul nakedness. For a man, looking directly into your eyes while you are both at your most vulnerable is the ultimate naughty act because it is so incredibly intense. It removes all the masks. It's the one thing he is terrified to ask for because it feels too exposed. He's afraid that if he asks you to look at him, you might see his own insecurities or the depth of his feelings, which can be a scary thing for a man who is used to being the strong, silent type. But psychologically, eye contact releases a flood of oxytocin that creates a bond deeper than any physical movement can provide. He wants to see the exact moment you lose yourself. He wants to know that he is the only one you are focused on. By locking eyes with him, you are telling him that you aren't just there physically, you are there emotionally and spiritually. It turns a simple act into a profound connection that feels almost illicit in its raw honesty. He craves the feeling of being seen by you, not just as his partner or the father of his children, but as the man who can take your breath away. This intensity is what truly keeps a man hooked. It's a secret because it requires him to be vulnerable, and he's waiting for you to be the one to bridge that gap. When you look at him and don't look away, you are giving him a level of intimacy that most men go their entire lives without ever truly experiencing. The dirty language gap. Language is perhaps the most powerful tool in your intimate arsenal, yet so many women feel a sense of shame or awkwardness around the idea of dirty talk. The eighth secret is that your man doesn't want a scripted performance or a list of lines you read on the internet. He wants to hear the naughty internal thoughts that are crossing your mind in the heat of the moment. He wants you to bridge the language gap by simply narrating your pleasure. This isn't about being vulgar for the sake of it. It's about descriptive talk that acts as a mental aphrodisiac. When you tell him exactly how he makes you feel or what you want him to do next, you are fueling his mental fire. He is terrified to ask for this because he doesn't want to make you feel like you're on stage or forced to be someone you're not. But the truth is, a man's brain is wired to respond to the confirmation of your desire. When you describe the sensations you are feeling, it makes the experience more real for him. It removes the guesswork. It turns his arousal into something explosive because it's being validated by your voice. You don't need to be loud or overly aggressive. Even a soft, whispered description of what you're enjoying is enough to send his heart racing. He wants to know that he has access to your most private, naughty thoughts. This form of communication is a secret because it requires a high level of trust. When you share those thoughts, you are inviting him into the most intimate part of your mind. By closing this language gap, you are providing him with the one thing he craves more than anything, the undeniable proof that he is fulfilling your deepest, most secret needs through his presence alone. Post-intimacy adoration. There is a pervasive and damaging myth in our culture that once the main event is over, a man's only desire is to roll over and fall asleep. This couldn't be further from the truth. The ninth secret, and one of the most naughty in its emotional weight, is the male desire for post-intimacy adoration. In the psychology of intimacy, this is known as aftercare, and men crave it just as much as women do, though they are often too proud to admit it. He wants to be held, he wants to feel your skin against his, and hear a few words of genuine appreciation. He wants to know that the connection didn't just end when the physical act did. He is terrified to ask for this because he's been conditioned to believe that real men don't need cuddling or emotional reassurance. He's afraid of looking weak or clingy, but after he has given you his energy and his focus, he is at his most open. This is the moment where naughty meets nurturing. When you stay in the moment with him, avoiding the urge to check your phone or get up immediately, you are validating the entire experience. You are telling him that he is more than just a provider of pleasure. He is someone you genuinely want to be near. This post-intimacy window is where the deepest bonds are formed. A few minutes of stroking his hair or whispering how much you enjoyed the time together can do more for his ego and his loyalty than anything else. He keeps this secret because he doesn't want to break the macho facade, but in reality, your adoration after the act is the ultimate reward. It's the naughty little secret that turns a physical encounter into a lasting, unbreakable emotional tether between your two souls. The one request he thinks will end the relationship. We have now reached the final secret, the one that sits at the very peak of his internal world. It is the one request he thinks might actually end the relationship if he ever spoke it out loud. This is his ultimate fantasy. It's usually something specific, perhaps a particular outfit he's dreamed of seeing you in, a specific scenario he's played out in his mind 1,000 times, or a naughty boundary he's curious to push with you. He is terrified to ask for this because he views you as a queen and a partner. He worries that by bringing up a fantasy that seems out of character for your daily life, he will lose your respect or make you feel unsafe. But here is the secret. He doesn't want to replace you with the fantasy. He wants to experience the fantasy with you. The psychological weight of this secret is immense because it represents his most unedited self. He keeps it locked away, thinking it's too much or too weird. But when a woman is the one to open that door, when she asks him, is there something you've always wanted to try but were too shy to say? It is the most liberating moment of his life. It's not about the act itself. It's about the fact that you love him enough to explore the furthest corners of his imagination. This is the master key to his heart. By being the one to invite this conversation, you remove the fear and replace it with a shared adventure. You aren't just his lover anymore, you are his confidante and his partner in crime. This level of total acceptance is the ultimate naughty secret because it's so rare. When he realizes he can share his darkest cravings with you without judgment, he will never want to look anywhere else. Opening the door. Knowing these secrets is one thing, but acting on them is where your personal power truly begins. You don't need a grand gesture or a rehearsed speech to unlock his heart. Instead, wait for a quiet, comfortable moment, perhaps when you're just lounging together or driving in the car, and simply whisper a what if. You might say, I've been thinking about how much I love our connection, and I was wondering if there's a secret side of you I haven't met yet. By framing it as your curiosity and your desire to know him deeper, you remove every ounce of pressure. You become the heroine of your own love story, the one who is brave enough to open the door to a new level of intimacy. Remember, your warmth is the safest place he has ever known. When you invite him in, you are now finally transforming your whole beautiful bond. As we close this chapter tonight, I want you to feel a deep sense of peace. You now hold a rare understanding of the male heart, and that knowledge is your superpower. Use it with kindness, use it with playfulness, but most importantly, use it to bring more joy into your own life. You deserve a relationship where every part of you and every part of him is celebrated. Thank you for spending this intimate time with me. It is truly a privilege to walk this path of discovery by your side. If you found comfort or insight here today, please let me know. And don't forget to join our community for more secrets. For now, go back to your world with a soft smile and a confident heart. You are a remarkable woman, and the love you create is a masterpiece. Until next time, stay connected, stay curious, beautiful.